What's good, everybody? We're back, finally. Seriously, it's been a while since I posted a video, and it's definitely been a minute since I posted an SMP episode. But behind me is what I've been working on, and it's only half, maybe half, if that, of what we have planned. You wouldn't believe, but we are building what I hope to be the largest village in LEGO Fortnite history, and it's gonna be fully functional. So yeah, the builds did not slow down. We also built a flying ship, which got me out of my comfort zone, but then I accidentally blew up the flying ship. But not before I got some cool shots. And I know some of you are immediately about to comment about a tutorial. To that, I say, fine, but only if this video can hit 150 likes. We started Tutorial Village, which is a huge project, but we did finish 3 other POIs, Port Mirage, Stonebreaker Factory, and the Armory. Now, while building all this, we've been coming up with some new mechanics to help the SMP achieve its goal. That goal? To create a unique survival experience where the adventurer gets to choose multiple paths to whatever success means to them. So they can trade their way, they can make business, they can farm materials themselves, or they can rely on quests and campaigns. Whether they decide to make small quests, minigame shops, large-scale campaigns, or even just play the adventure, everything that they do is going to shape their experience and the experience of the people around them. And Tutorial Village is going to give everyone, and especially new adventurers, a small taste of what they will not only find, but be able to create for themselves and others in the server. But enough about all that. Let's officially start this episode. Number 7 of the Canopy SMP. We left off defeating the Storm King for the first time after the update. We needed to get the armory boosted up with tools and product. We also left off at the canal crossing where we finished building that canal to get Trillin's boat from the ocean into the middle sea. And since then, the armory, well stocked, and that boat is now at a POI called Port Mirage, which is funny because if you've watched the channel enough, you know that POI started as the cave entrance to the armory. And Epic was like, yeah, no. They threw that thing way into the desert. Luckily, they threw it right next to where my cable car stops. And if you're wondering, why'd you bring the cable car all the way to the desert? Well, it's because this was gonna be the center of the theme park that I was gonna build. But since the performance is so awful and who knows when we're gonna get improvements, it's just gonna be the spot of the armory, officially titled Flocka's Foundry. Welcome to the Foundry, everybody. Here, adventurers have access to all gem tools. They're able to buy them, they're able to craft them from their own materials. They can smelt massive amounts of metal as well as cut gems, and they have access to the rune and legendary forge, giving them the full ability to craft tools and weapons here. But they can also purchase them from me if they don't want to go do that resource grinding themselves. And we got some pretty good deals for first-time buyers. And we had a lot of first-time buyers recently.
Can I suggest the bell over here that I can ring for service? I've been waiting all day.
The rest of his staff is out to lunch.
You want this ruby crossbow?
Yeah.
And remember, don't use it up all the way. You can come back and get a free rift. There you go. 7 gold. Cha-ching. Okay.
Thank you.
Whether just visiting or creating one of your own, these POIs centered around workstations are going to be super important because each adventurer is only allowed one of each workstation for their personal use. For example, Stonebreaker Factory is a place with 52 stonebreakers and 56 chests. You're able to craft any slab you want with any materials that you have on yourself, or you can buy the refined materials or collect the materials from the worker working at the POI. Each adventurer is allowed to make a POI like this for themselves. It just matters where they put it. We also have another POI sort of like that one called Port Mirage. I mentioned this earlier in the video. Yes, that Port Mirage with Trillin's boat. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous rocky location, just a small port village, and it is inhabited by some scoundrels, just pirates, bandits, and thieves, maybe some lone travelers. They are illegally cutting gems for all adventurers in the world, so can we really call them bad people? Not for now anyways, but as you can see here, we allow adventurers to craft gems themselves here, the same as they are at the armory. We also have some not so commonly found items here. Maybe they got these items legally, maybe they didn't. Either way, they're here to help the villagers with resources, just like the villagers here at Tutorial Village. There's a lot to look at here, but let's start off by explaining how adventurers can acquire, use, and store their gold. The first way is just by talking to the villagers here in Tutorial Village. They are constantly working on smelting metal. That means that you can acquire gold just by talking to them. Now, I log on every single day, I grab this gold when I can, and I hand it off to them inside of their own personal currency chest. An adventurer can place this chest at any business POI that they create, but they also have one here at the storage rooms on the east end of the village. Each adventurer that has a storage room had to pay 25 gold up front in order to acquire the room, but it makes them eligible for the daily login bonus, even if they're not online, which can be anywhere from 5 to 25 gold bars a day. They can also acquire gold by just finding adventure chests inside of these simple Majestic Manors chests, and the brand new quest system, which is pretty easy to understand. It uses two separate chests. Inside of the quest chest, which is just the Paladin chest, it'll read on the left side the item and the amount that needs to be acquired, and the reward is on the right side. So when you go into the item retrieval chest, all you have to do is put the item into the chest and take out the appropriate amount of gold bars. Adventurers are allowed to complete one of each quest per day, and these quests are scattered everywhere across the map. Okay, it's time to stop hiding the goodies. It's time to give you guys a full peek at all the buildings that I've made inside of the village. I don't want to go into too much of the detail or even the interiors for you guys. That's going to be saved for a special showcase video once this village is finally finished. But what I can do is show you guys different things that I built, like the villager houses. This is where the villagers stay. For a while building, they were outside, but we finally got them a nice place. I also built my own personal house inside of the village. I'm really proud of how this turned out. There's incredible detail in the area, and it turned out beautifully. And if you really want to see me walk through this a whole bunch, just come watch me build the village live. Even some of the other adventurers have started building their own little starter houses. These are located just west of most of the village's workstation facilities, like the lumber area, the stone processing area, and the mechanic shop for cars and planes. Just southwest of the mechanic shop is the farm. I went a little bit overboard, but I turned this entire thing into a giant windmill with a barn underneath. I'm definitely thinking about dropping a build tutorial on this, so let me know down in the comments if you'd be interested in something like that. North of the farm, we have a pretty underdeveloped part of the village, but we'll get there. We have one building though, and that is the juicer. Big shout out to T Dizzle for the inspiration behind this. I'll have his video linked in the description if you'd like to build your own little juice bar. This is one of 3 official shops we have set up here in the village. The other 2 being the Power Cell shop right outside the mechanic, and a small corner restaurant selling grilled food. Business runs online and offline the same way as the quest system, except the slots will be swapped, so you'll go up to the chest inside of the business where the product will be there, as well as the price for the product. You'll take what you want out of that chest and put the appropriate amount of gold into a separate chest nearby. Offline use is super important because, like I said, performance with multiple people in the world is atrocious. That being said, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm gonna push forward into any project I desire, and I'm gonna build until this world explodes. So Epic, you better be ready. And on that note, I've gotta get going. I've got building to do. So why don't you guys just take it easy, relax, 'cause I'll see you in the next one. Deuces. Oh yeah, YouTube had nothing to do with this recommendation. That's all me. I think you're gonna enjoy this video, so click it.